I'm not here to teach you what to think, I'm here to teach you how to think. Welcome to How to Build a Social Circle Network. I'm Frank B. Kermit. Today what we're talking about is how to manage various circles of contacts. Sometimes they will be circles of friends, sometimes they will be circles of coworkers, but the idea is to expand on the number of contacts in your network and how to manage each social circle, when to mix them, when not to mix them, and if you decide to have relationships with women, whatever type of relationship you want, whether it be a one-night stand, just friends, a woman that you'll have as a sex buddy, and possibly a long-term girlfriend, how to manage all of those different relationships within your social circles. So I'm going to start off by telling you some of my story. I didn't really have very many social circles in high school. It was only in college where I actually started to learn about the social circle system. When in college, I finally got out of that program that I was in. I had lost my virginity, and I started to make new friends. And I started to realize that one group of friends didn't necessarily get along with another group of friends. So I would volunteer at the student radio station, and I had friends that I would only talk about radio with and hang out with them. Then there were students who I was seeing in my television studies class, and we spent tons and tons of time together because working on long television projects, you just get to know people that way. And then there was people that I hung out with just because we enjoyed each other's company and we had stuff in common. I called that social circle the table because we all hung around the same table in the cafeteria. Now, there are times when I tried mixing those social circles. For example, when it would be my birthday, what I would do is that I would pick a particular venue and say, okay, everybody, it's my birthday and I'm going to be at this venue, and I would invite everybody I knew. And my hope was that everybody would get along and be friends, but that's not what happens. People will come in and you'll have people who are very, very conservative mixing in with people who are very, very liberal. And you're going to have some people who will be very, very turned off. So doing those big birthday party bashes didn't really work out well. I started celebrating my birthdays individually, which means that, yes, when my birthday came around, I would have 5 or 6 different birthday parties because each one was going to be with a different social circle. And I really felt that I was missing out. I would have preferred, the big bash, the big party. I didn't realize that keeping social circles separate in that manner was actually to my benefit, because this is before I ever got into the study of seduction and relationships. When I went through my challenge with development, going from loser to seducer, I reached a point where I didn't have any more social circles. Bottom line is, I was so down on myself, and I was so down and out, and I was so socially uncalibrated that I had lost a lot of my friends in that process. So when it was time for me to build myself up, I had to start building up my social circles again, pretty much from scratch. And a lot of the people that were in my new social circles were not people that I had met previously. I think I only retained 2 social circles from my previous quote-unquote life. So I'm going to tell you about some of the steps that I took to start making this happen. Now, what is a social circle? It really is just a group of people you hang out with, and you're there under a common theme. Now, the common theme could be a mutual interest you all have, and the mutual interest could be something that is either forced on you. Let's say a work situation, you all happen to work for the same company, or you're all working for the same client. Or it could be something of your own choosing. You happen to have a particular hobby, you have a particular interest, you pursue it. There you go, that's your social circle. Another thing I can tell you about social circles is that not every single one of them is going to be a group of tightly knit people who all know each other's personal lives. Sometimes a particular social circle will be people who you go out and party with, but you really don't even know each other's last names. You don't know each other's personal histories. It's more along the lines of, well, I don't want to go someplace alone, and I don't want to do blank alone. Hey, there's some people who want to go do the same thing as me, and you'll all go out together. So don't expect that everybody that you ever hang out with is going to become your best friend. That's not the way it works. If you're looking for a best friend, you're going to have to invest in a specific relationship or two and nurture that relationship. Now, I'm going to talk about how to do that later in the lecture. But you can't go into it expecting that everybody's going to get along and everybody's going to be your friend. There are going to be people in your social circle who don't like you. And the only reason why they are in the social circle with you is because both you and that other person have a mutual affection for a third person that wants you both to at least respect each other's boundaries. If you truly want to build social circles, you must take on the point man system. So that's the first thing, the point man system. The point man in any social circle is the guy who is pretty much the reason that everybody comes together. The point man system. Now, the one thing you have to remember if you are going to set yourself up to be the point man is that you're not necessarily going to be the one who enjoys the social activities the most. It means that you take on a certain burden as being the point man. When there's a conflict within the group, when someone who was invited ends up upsetting somebody else, when someone needs to figure out how they're going to get home, when someone is looking for logistics, when someone needs somebody to call about, hey, I forgot to ask this question. What's happening with this event? Is it blank? It's the point man that everybody contacts. The point man is the reason that everybody there shows up. The point man is the one that reinforces the rules, if there are any rules. When you're looking to build a social circle, you are looking to become a point man. The one that everybody points to say, well, I'm looking for the person in charge. They will point to you. And whenever a problem